Hello and welcome back to War Thunder and to the 109 G-14, which is a plane I have flown a lot. Mostly because back in the day it used to only get a 30 mil, I think. I can't remember. This was a long ass time ago, before Gaijin implemented the allowing of multiple primary cannons to be used on German aircraft and the interchangeability of such. So I learnt how to fly the G-14 with the 30 mil. And oh boy, is it. Oh, it's so good. Now I've climbed at, I believe, 12.5 degrees up to 14,000 feet, and this is the perfect approach on an AFK F4U-1. And in 3, 2, 1. Oh, 30 millimeter glory, brother. Oh, that was much awesome. Oh, it felt good. And that's what the 30 mil is. Now, I understand a lot of people can't get the Mark 108s, I believe, to work for them. But it's all about knowing when to fire. And that knowing when to fire is between 3 and 400 meters. Anything more than that, and it's going to take a lot of practice to get that aim down. I haven't flown this plane in almost 2.5 years, and the 4 matches I did play, I only got 1 kill at more than 600 meters, but that was a A6. It was a 0 from like 1.5 kilometers that I blind sprayed in a dive, and that was... Oh, anyway. Back on, we are on the tail of an F4U-1C that the entire team is chasing after because there's no one else up at altitude other than the MB5, who doesn't really count because he's a bitch. No, he actually does take me in a head-on, and there is the F4U-1 taken by the Focke-Wulf 190A, which, you know, kudos to him. I still have 60 rounds left, and so, you know, I just go on to the A6, the AM1, Jesus Christ, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. And I think he's probably going to get stolen unless the 30 mil decides to do something, which it doesn't because I entirely miss other than the 13 mils. And so that's another kill, I believe, to the friendly G-14 using the 20 mil, unless I get shots on here, which I can't remember if I do. Actually, I think I do. Just 3, 2, 1, waste fucking 35 shells on him. Why not? Because, you know, there's pretty much no one left other than, I believe, an MB5 climbing to space, the B-26 over there, and another AM1 and something else I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, yeah, it's a great plane. Skipping forward a bit, I've spotted the AM1 thanks to a blind hunt given by a teammate, and this is where the 30 mil is really going to come in. Obviously, I don't get immediate shots on the AM1, he's still 20 kilometers away, but that's how it is. And this gives me an opportunity to talk about how I use the G-14 in general. I use 30mm stealth because I've gotten used to it. I'm good at it. I'm good at stealth. Mostly because it doesn't show you when you're missing. It doesn't show you when you're hitting. But it does reward you when you hit. So it's an entirely different to using stealths. To using tracers, rather. Tracers, you know, you got the visual aid and you got a lot of shit going on. Whilst with stealth, the moment you hit, the thing you hit usually dies or gets critted or badly damaged in such a way that it can no longer fly and it dies anyway. So yeah, I take a head-on with the AM1. I'll get back to stealth in a minute. Shoot off a bunch of MGs, I think. No, I don't. I just go into head-on evade, shoot some shells at him, completely miss, and then take a head-on with the MB5. And this is where stealth really comes in. I'm aiming just a bit ahead, 3 shells, I think, and that sets him on fire. 3 30mm stealth rounds. I was really guesstimating the distance and the lead, but once you have 30mm stealth down pat, you can pull off head-ons with almost any well, with almost anything, because they never expect you to have 30 mils. They expect you to be using 20 mils and using tracers. So that's the other side of using stealth. The enemy can't tell when you're firing at them other than your muzzle flash, if they even see your muzzle flash. They also can't see the shells they have to evade, so they're going to assume, hey, they're not shooting at me yet. They're going to start shooting at me when I'm within their range. And the AM1 gets stolen by bloody AA, because this was just before the AA nerf, or the ground AA nerf, or whatever happened there. Anyway, this second match here, which I don't usually do, I prefer to just use single matches, but then again, it doesn't leave me a lot of room to talk. But anyway, this is more of a defensive flying example here. Especially with the Hornet, he's going to come down on me. I am going to not evade in time. I don't think. No, I evade fine, do a little spin, and he's going to start running off into the distance, and I'm going to follow him. Though he's also going to climb. I might put some MGs down range. Don't get anything, and that's that. But I urge you, get your stealth on. Come on. It's relatively easy to do. It also gives you a bit of fear that, oh no, I'm missing all my shots, I'm missing everything, I'm not very good. I can't reliably hit anything because I can't see where I'm shooting. But that fear, and also the reward cycle of getting a hit, that dopamine hit, means that you will learn the stealth round faster. Excuse me. And I'd love to get into the biology of it, but I learned this like 4 years ago, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'd have to go and look at a textbook somewhere in my shelf over to my left, and I can't be bothered just like, taking out my chairs. So yeah, I take a head on with the C-Fire, totally fuck it up because I have not. This is the first match I've flown this plane in a long time. So I'm really chucking it about. I go into a turn fight with this C-Fire and do a little rudder turn, try and get out of his way, mostly evade his shells. The plane looks damaged, but, you know, it's not actually any damage yet. I'm rolling out of everything, and then he gets 20 mils on me, which damages my engine, my water, and takes out a flap. But I'm still turn fighting with him. And this isn't really a turn fight, it's more of an energy turn fight, which is part of what the C-Fire is great at, though it's much better at lower altitude, so I'm also dragging him down. And I'm trying to push my way behind him by making him overshoot, and going right in front of his guns, see the Hornet right behind me, and just go into a little bit more of a dive and flatten out. And they collide into each other, which I'm going to take as 2 kills because I set that up. And I think the Hornet's pilot blacked out. I'm not entirely sure there. There's a Spitfire down low. He's going to come back later. He's just been ground pounding. There's a Lancaster up high. There's a P-51 up high who's going to start eliminating the team entirely. And our TIE 152 is being useless. There's Sea Fury on my ass. I'm going to go into another rolling defensive evade. Almost flat spin myself, take a bunch of hits on the mid fuselage there, and he's going to dive after me in a second after pulling a quick pull up to lose some speed, roll over, and I'm gonna evade him with a little rudder roll there, and he smashes into the ground, and that's my 3rd kill. And at this point, my brain is like, what have I just done? How have I baited 3 people into either crashing into each other or into the ground? Because I'm going to assume that was his first match in the Sea Fury. He came in with a lot of energy and didn't really seem to know what he was doing with it. He was also using tracers, which leads me to suspect he was using the default belts. And yeah, skipping on a bit, I return to base, rearm repair, climb a little bit, and the Lancaster's doing Lancaster things. I believe he's going to get taken out, and my 109 over there is going to start engaging the P-51 in a second. But down low, there's a Spitfire. I believe it's a Mark 14, and I've kind of been slightly flirtatious in chat, and you know, that happens occasionally. I do like being a little bit flirtatious and insinuating things, but yeah. So the P-51 takes out the 109 that's dived low, and then he gets engaged by the 109 who's high, about, I want to say, a kilometer above him. Okie dokie, I'm kind of weirded out that I have my distance in kilometers, but my altitude in feet, and my speed in miles an hour. But this is fine. I used to have it in miles. I can't remember when I switched it, but this is fine. And this Spitfire, he's been ground pounding. He's not been using his plane to the fullest capability. He is going for the relatively easy targets when he could have climbed and be helping his P-51 over there with the 109 and get an easy kill. But because we're both isolated, it makes us extremely vulnerable targets to 1v1s. So the P-51 and the 109 are going to take a 1v1 there. The P-51 is going to win. And I'm going to take a Spitfire in a 1v1 because, that's something great. You can out a dogfight a Spitfire in the G-14 if you really push it. And yeah, I'm about to spot this Spitfire down low. He's going to drop a bomb on, I think, a pillbox or something. And I'm diving on him. So I've got the energy advantage. He's staying low. And as I like to say, it's low and slow. And he's going to go into head-on, and I only get hits because that's the power of 13mm MGs to the front. Big sigh. But I have a lot more energy than him, so I am able to just pull up and basically bait him into stalling out. Now, in comparison, the 109 has a lower stall speed than the Spitfire, which is great. It's good fun to come in with an energy advantage and just totally bonk a Spitfire. But I mess up my initial shot here because he's going vertical. I get more hits and he gets a bunch of hits on my wing, and I've got pins and needles in my legs. Please excuse me. This is going to get really annoying when I stand up a minute. And yeah, now it's Spitfire. He's realized, I might have fucked up just a little bit, and more hits. Because I'm leading with the 13 mils, not the 30 mil. Because I'm great. And what I really should have done here is finish the Spitfire off and then immediately gone to the B-51 while he was climbing, because I know I have a better climb speed than him. But I'm also burning out my engine by wepping. I'm trying to mitigate it by switching between 90%, 100% and wet, but it's just not happening. And then the Spitfire is going to go into a head-on whilst low after a loop and take a crit to the cooling and the fuel. And he's going to try and run away from a 109 with more energy, and he's going to go into a turn, and there's a 30 mil straight to the pilot and the engine. Though the pilot doesn't die because I have vitality. Dude was actually a pretty good pilot, and I fuck up here by deciding to go rearm repair, when instead I could have been out climbing a P-51 who then comes back later to haunt me because I gotta refill the seduction cannon, man. You gotta slam some more bottles of lube in there. I got my teammate here going, yeah, you can do it, yeah. All hype me up, and yeah, I fuck up. I fuck up by not reverse climbing off of the runway. That's my initial mistake of this 1v1 with the P-51. Firstly, I should have climbed immediately instead of going and rearming and refueling. because I still have 8 cannon rounds and 320 13mm MGs, and with my aim, I could have probably gotten the P-51 after dogfighting him enough, but I'm really doubting what I can do in this match because I haven't flown this plane in 2 years, and I don't feel on the top of my game, when in fact I'm actually doing pretty good. And there, I'm wasting my ammo now. I have to land. I could have outclimbed the P-51 and then immediately bonked him from behind or above, and he would have dove down to the deck and I would have had the advantage. But no, I had to land, rearm, repair, because I wasn't confident. And my lack of confidence and my decision to rearm and then not take off backwards leads me to die to a P-51. In a couple minutes, I'll probably skip forward through this bit. He'll set me on fire with 50 cals because, 50 cals do 50 cal things, and they're actually really strong right now. I really like how all the guns are performing other than the NS-23s, which are, kind of hit or miss. Yes, you get a couple of hits, but most of the time it only does crits, but, it's good enough for jets, but the 37s are where it's at. They don't perform exactly as well as I'd like them, but that's fine. Same with Hispano Mark IIs. They're lackluster. There's a reason we used to call Hispanos Hispargos, and that's part of it. Okay, so I've decided not to climb a lot. I've instead gone for the energy. The P-51 is behind me with a lot of energy. I'm turning into him, and he's just going to go straight back up. I'm going to try and follow, but he's got so much more energy than me. There's not much I can really do. If I'd climbed for him after killing the Spitfire, this wouldn't have happened. But I'm just throwing the plane around. I don't really know what happened, and that immediate first burst is going to set me on fire because 50 cals do 50 cal things, and this dude's using stealth, so good on him. Brad Lemon, you're a good pilot. Well done. And yeah, so I put out the fire, the fuel is all leaking out, and I think, you know what, I might as well just try and grab myself back to the airfield, maybe get into the AA cover, but it's just not happening. The P-51 comes in for another pass, and I'm dead. Yeah, so if you liked this video, I don't know, give a like, give a comment to tell me what you want done next. Please not the fucking 0, because I've done a video on that. It's coming out on Monday, and it was painful. It was so painful. But I'm glad it's just the normal, it's the Mod 11 A6M2 that is going to, that's 3.3 now, I believe. But it was a 3.7. And anyway, I hope you had an enjoyable time, and leave a comment for whatever you want me to fly next. And if you like longer content with 2 or more, 2 matches, I don't know, leave a like. I'm working on something for New Year because I don't celebrate Christmas. Obviously it's going to be a CAS montage because I love CAS. Well, you can't stop me. I love it. I gotta flex my old animator skills somewhere, and yeah, brah. Yeah, I'm away to Manchester and Dundee this weekend, so I've already pre-recorded Monday's video. It's going to be the A6M2 Ryzen, I think. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head. I can't remember the name of the thing, but it's uploaded. I just need to title it and write a bunch of shit. And, I don't know, I'll slap some meaningless footage that I gathered somewhere. I know for a fact there's going to be a T-44 video out soon, maybe a French cast thing, maybe a War Thunder's longest matches, because, I might as well steal from Orange. Anyway, Have a good one. Ciao.